Good morning. Happy spring. Today is the vernal equinox. I'm very excited. I look at it as a new beginning of a new year. And as you can see, there's some ice and snow still around, but for the most part it's gone. This winter was really very mild, as our winters go. So, the beginning of this walk, I was headed in the other direction, which is directly towards the sun. I came out a little bit earlier than I usually do because I wanted to get a bead on what birds are back in the area. And walking directly into the sun was really kind of fun for me because I basically couldn't look at anything. At what birds were around, which meant that I just got to listen and identify birds by sound. And I know that, well, I hope that my microphone doesn't pick up all the birds and the dog that's barking like crazy. But as I'm walking along, I'm hearing chickadees, blue jays, a tufted titmouse, a northern cardinal, these mallard ducks, more blue jays. There's a really big population of blue jays here. It's kind of fun. One of the interesting things about blue jays is they make a gazillion different noises, and then they make some up or they parrot other birds. Corvid other birds? I don't know, they mimic. And I heard a yellow-bellied sapsucker earlier. The dark-eyed juncos are calling. They don't often stay around in this area, but they're starting to call, which psyched me out because one of my favorite summer birds here is the chipping sparrow, and they sound very similar. And I was like, ooh, vernal equinox, the chipping sparrow. No, it's a dark-eyed junco. Again, I can't locate any of these, or I couldn't locate any of these because I was walking directly into the sun. So I was just enjoying myself. So I'm looking out over this marsh here, and in the tree that's right there, there are 10 blue jays. That's quite a grouping, family grouping of blue jays. It's really cool. I'm hearing a song sparrow. The tufted titmouse is just amusing, constantly singing. Mourning dove. So I don't often record my walks this direction because this is a very popular trail and it's quite close to downtown. So there are very often dogs and people, well, people and their dogs on this trail. Off to my right is a fairly busy road and houses, which is why you get to see the marsh instead. I'm hoping to bring my bees over to my house this spring, and I'm looking forward to them being able to collect nectar and pollen from the myriad types of wildflowers that grow in this marsh. Oh, there's some very quiet crows on one of those trees right ahead. That's kind of fun. I just hear the blue jays. Crows are just kind of hanging out. This little brook that follows along is really fun. Oh, the blue jays are so mad that I'm here. It's not necessarily me, but I know they're tracking me. They've taken over this area in force. I was thinking this morning how excited I am that I can kind of walk on the ground without making so much noise again. That little brook I just showed you has a bunch of ice on it. I hope you saw. And because the weather or the temperature's coming up and the sun is so bright and the ducks are on it, the ice is like breaking off in chunks. So it kind of catches me by surprise and I have to stop and figure out what it is. Oh my goodness, that's a wood duck. I just kicked up a wood duck. I can't actually... There we go. That's awesome. So I'm looking out over the marsh here, and on one little bush that has no leaves on it now, there's a small bird towards the top of it. All I can tell is that it's a small bird. I can kind of make out that it's brown, but really it's in silhouette. And because of all the things I've been hearing, all the different birds I've been hearing and can identify by song, I know that it's a song sparrow because it's the right size. I'm hearing a song sparrow song from that direction, and that is their behavior. I'm also noticing some little bitty, also small birds creeping around in the bottoms of this bramble stuff. That can be any number of the sparrow type birds that are around here. I was looking at trees this week and the maples are starting to get their red buds. Starting. Don't get me wrong, this is not like imminent or anything. And the birches are starting to get their catkins. These, the ones here aren't. They're little, like cattail kind of looking things. Yellow, scaly. I don't really feel like walking on that ice. So with all this excitement of spring for the birds, from the birds, I can't help but really consider the vernal equinox as the beginning of a year. Beginning of the Earth year, I guess. And it's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day here. So this week I stepped on a scale for the first time in like, I don't know, 6 months, something like that, and realized how much weight I've gained. And I had a moment of just, not panic, but like shame and disgust with myself because we're supposed to be skinny and beautiful and stay that way. And then I kind of just like, I didn't even stop myself. It was just like, no, you know what? I don't even feel that way anymore. The number doesn't matter. And although I would like to lose some of it because, oh, here. I don't know if you can see on the ends of those little birch things. There's little things dangling down. I'm sure that's all you can see. is that the little twigs and things dangling down. Those are the catkins. It's the birch blossoms. Trees bloom before they grow leaves. I was talking about my weight. Yeah. I feel better when I am not carrying around as much weight. I feel like being active when I'm not carrying around as much weight. And so all it meant was realizing several things about, like what has changed over the last few months. And the biggest thing is that I consciously decided to protect or care for my mental health over the last few months. It's been rough and rocky. And I never forgot that I have a body that I have to take care of, but I didn't, I nurtured my mental health and my emotional health instead of evening everything out of my physical health. But things are coming together for my mental health so that I'm feeling better, and so I can start to implement some plans for just being more active, getting more active again, and not putting myself in a situation where I'm eating weird things at weird times. So that's a thing. Hopefully I will lose some weight and get more active. And otherwise, whatever, I'm far more interested in my mental and emotional health and being physically comfortable, regardless of what that looks like. Can I say it's been a process to get to that feeling? So this cute little covered bridge here has resident pigeons. And last week when I came this direction, the one pigeon was starting to stake out its claim. It hadn't been building a nest yet, but it was there and viewable. The reason I said that is because I just, looking ahead, I saw the pigeon land on the top of the peak there, right on this end. Oh, there's the second one. It's a pair. Alright. I don't really have any idea if I can get across this ice without embarrassing myself. Once I get to the other side of this bridge, I'm going to have to put my ice cleats on, so I'm going to stop talking to you, but I'm going to show you this beautiful little brook. Twice now, when I've been crossing this bridge, I've seen one of the resident beavers just kind of cruising along. Actually gets pretty deep down there. I don't know how deep, but looks like it. there's a wood duck male and 3 females. All right. Happy spring, peoples. Talk to you later.